Don't care what you say, yeah. It is Friday, Eurovision fam. Welcome back, you guys. A lot of stuff has happened in the Eurovision world. If my voice sounds hoarse again, it's because I'm sick again. That's just what I love to do nowadays. But setting that aside, we do have some news from a lot of countries, including and especially Ukraine. They have decided through Vidbir who's going to be representing them in Eurovision. We have news from Festivali Kangas, the Albanian selection. They also have selected their acts to represent them. Sanremo Giovani. So we know some of the acts that will be competing in the Italian national selection come this March. Selecţia Naţională. So Romania has announced the artists and songs that will be competing against each other to try to represent. Benidorm Fest. So Spain, the big contest we were all anticipating, waiting for, really putting our ham into. And Pabandom Naujo, also known as PIN from Lithuania, where that's another national selection where they would be selecting their song later on this season. But with all of that said, we have a number of things to cover. The first thing that happened that we watched was Vidbir, the national selection from Ukraine. That was the first thing that happened this week. So, and we do have a special guest here. Everyone say hi to Augusto from the site, from our editorial team. We are going to be talking about everything with Augusto today, and especially the acts from Benidorm, because there's a lot to say. But with that said, Vidbir, that was the first thing. Do we have any thoughts, you guys? What did we take away from that?
Well, first off, I want to just say TVORCHII, I looked it up. I think I'm saying this right. TVORCHII, excellent choice. I like their music outside of Eurovision or outside of the Vidbir attempts. They are a Ukrainian act I do listen to on the regular. It's one of those things where is Heart of Steel my favorite of their songs? No, but I think it is something that has a good overall package. They have the visual down, and I know it's going to look even better because Ukraine knows how to stage. And when you have an act who's already coming with a good visualization, both in their own work as artists with their music videos and with their staging at Vidbir, that's going to look even better once we get to May. The song is solid, and we already know it's going to get a revamp. I don't think it necessarily needs one, but it's been confirmed that's what's going to happen.
All right, TVORCHII. So we have one great, excellent perspective on TVORCHII winning. Is it? Do you feel the same way, Augusto, or do you feel differently?
That Ukraine made a really good choice this year. TVORCHII's great. The song is great. I liked it. I've listened to it a few times this week, and they're amazing. And the staging was great. And like Sydney said earlier, Ukraine knows how to stage. We know for a fact that Ukraine will not let us down with staging. They will deliver, and it's going to be great in Liverpool in May. So they have time to fix whatever they want to fix. But I think it's a great choice too.
I also think it was really cool how they were able to refit that bomb shelter metro station to put on such a great show. That stream was it was excellent. It was pristine. That's the quality of the stream was better than some Eurovision shows I've watched in the last 5 years. And that was incredible to me. It is interesting though to see TVORCHII do so well when they weren't so highly anticipated to do this well in the contest, because Heart of Steel wasn't exactly the song that people were talking about prior, but that's the joy of the Eurovision national final season. It's that we get.
I think that, how do I phrase this? It was underrated in the fandom outside of Ukraine, because we have to remember they're an act who has consistently sold well and done well in Ukraine itself. There's a playlist that Spotify put out just for Ukraine, and there were a couple of it's an official Spotify playlist of nothing but Ukrainian artists, and there were a couple of TVORCHII songs on there. Because I kind of was oh, let's see what Spotify thinks of Ukrainian music, just to I'm obnoxious. And I was like, okay, these are all actual musicians who are good, cool. So yeah, I mean, and from what I've seen, because I do have Ukrainian mutuals, they're pleased with they're pleased with the choice. It's you're getting an act who does well in your country, who's an act who's known in your country. So I do think that that's a positive there. Let's see here. Just a couple of comments. The first one is from Yulia.
Oh yeah.
We have Yulia Shichiro. Hello, Yulia or Julia. I swear I change your name every week. I'm worried TVORCHI will just copy their Vidbir staging at Eurovision, which might be underwhelming on the big stage. I don't think they're gonna copy it. Like, my main thing is, like, I know Ukraine's track record. They always change up the staging when it comes to Eurovision. Even if you have something that has like a
They do.
staging at Vidbir, it's gonna change. And also, like, as a band, all their music videos are so visually impactful. Like, they understand graphic design, and they also understand how to dress. Because I'm sorry, they're gonna be the best dressed act of this year. I'm already telling you guys.
Check their Instagram. Just check their Instagram for some photos if you want to see best dressed category. They're already winning it, but yeah, I do think that they're definitely going to change up the staging, because Vidbir they don't exactly like to stay predictable after the win is announced, after the winning song is announced, and also it's just the fact that I think this is TVORCHI's best song they could have sent to Vidbir. I prefer it to Bonfire a lot, which it was their, I believe, 2020 or 2019 competing song.
2020.
Where 2020, yeah. So I prefer it to Bonfire. The song I feel like is a lot more polished, is a lot better for the stage just generally. So that part alone makes me excited.
Yeah, definitely. So I you know what? It's one of those things where I can't really.
A good example.
Oh, go ahead, Augusta. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, you're good. A good example on how Ukraine switches up from Vidbir to Eurovision is Stefania itself. Stefania was very red and very like flowers and stuff in the LEDs in Vidbir, if not mistaken. And then when they went to Turin, it was completely different. It was more, since the war had already begun at the time, it was more sentimental and with more yellow colors and bolder shadows and other elements. So it was completely different. So we should not expect the same thing come May in Liverpool. It's going to be different.
Yeah, and I always trust Ukrainian revamp because TikTok, when it was first selected, was
Oh wow, that pre-revamp TikTok, that was a struggle. That was a moment.
oh man, it was some like
Indeed
I could
it
hear the
was.
banjos go. Like, it was just, oh no. But yeah, let's do any other general thoughts about Vidbir that we wanted to discuss, like any of the other acts, how we thought the stage looked and stuff like that.
I just want to give my props to my girl Finka. It wasn't like, the thing is, with putting on a good performance, it isn't necessarily about nailing every single vocal that you have in the studio moment. Sometimes it's about engaging with the audience, being charismatic with your crowd. Finka nailed that for me. To me, like, she was the most symbolic of the relationship between the stage and the audience, just based on being able to like have a festival together alone. Like, I mean, she didn't sing every note on key, which, I mean, like, to be fair, it's really hard to sing on key just in general. But I loved seeing her perform, seeing her just have her moment up there. And because that was a song I was highly anticipating to be great, I was not disappointed in that fact.
Oh yeah, no, I think that she was the queen of the disaster bops.
Yes.
It was messy, but messy in the best way possible. Like, if that came out and was perfectly polished, I would have hated it. It was just, it felt organic and it felt very punk rock to me. It's not a punk song, but the attitude was
The
punk.
attitude itself, yeah, I get that.
All right.
Any closing
Anyone you want to
thoughts
bring up
on
in particular?
Vidbir?
I want to say that
The only thing
I think. Oh, sorry, Augusta, go on.
Go ahead.
Okay, the only thing I want to say is something very similar to what Jordan said earlier. I admire the Ukrainian people for pulling off such a good looking national selection from a bomb shelter. That is just beyond. It's like Hats off. 10 out of 10. I couldn't watch the stream because I had to run errands at that time, but I was able to watch bits from TVORCHI's performance. It was great. It looked great. The lighting was great. The sound was great. Everything looked great. Come on. Just that. It was amazing. Hats off.
Another comment from Julia. Yeah, I don't understand how they made a subway stand look this amazing. Okay, you know what?
Yes.
I don't understand how, like, I live in DC. WMATA could never have their trains run consistently and on time with good circumstances and infrastructure. How is a city who is currently actively being bombed have their trains run that well? That's my first comment I want to make, because, like, I'm just used to, like, my train being late because someone sneezed. Like,
it was so cool to hear, like, the train going by during the show, because it's just like, that's functioning, you know?
Oh yeah, no, it's like, it's giving, I'm waiting on one platform for, like, the red line at Metro Center, and then I can hear the green line above me. Like, it was it was a vibe. Also, it was so close to where the trains were running. There's a video you can see where they walk from the platform. It's like, that's like 20 feet at most. Like, what?
It was there. It was right there.
They managed to do the best with the space economy that they had, and it was still an amazing show. Only in Ukraine.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, everyone looked so good. And Julia, yes, only in Ukraine. All right.
So
on that note about...
That's it. Only them.
Yeah. On that note about Vidbir, let's go ahead and go over to Festivali Kinges, which wrapped up last night. So, guys, initial thoughts about Festivali Kinges?
Initial thoughts? That's a hard question. I have all kinds of thoughts about Festivali Kinges. But first of all, congratulations to Elsa Lila and Albina and Familja Kelmendi for both winning FiK in separate branches of winning it. These are two so decisively different winners of this contest, and with the different voting format that we got this year, this wouldn't have happened otherwise. So I love the big dramatic ballad that we get with Elsa Lila. I love the fact that we get this big, camp, chaotic, loud, maximalist entry from Albina and her family. Albania, I feel like they're in a new era. But I really enjoyed it. I love the whole thing.
I couldn't watch FiK because of time zones and actually following with me being at work and not being able to follow it properly. But I did get to see the winning performance for Eurovision shortly before the stream. I agree with you, Jordan. It's chaotic, but beautiful chaos. And it's rare that we see a whole family on stage at Eurovision. We've seen sisters. We've seen husband and wife. We've seen, and we may even get that this year from Belgium. And also we've seen people dating. Amaya, 2018, hello. And so on.
Dating contractually, yeah.
I'll save that for later.
Exactly. Yes. So now we have mom, dad, siblings. Chaos.
Yeah. Honestly, I love the results. Like, I saw somebody tweet at one point, I want Elisa to win the like Festivali Kinges itself, and Albina and the family to get the Eurovision. So I was like, yes, that's exactly what I want. I'm so happy with the results. Lila, amazing. Like, that performance was the definition of captivating. Like, I was sitting there watching her mesmerized the whole time she's singing. And we love to have, a song about a daughter. Like, that's just nice to have that kind of, like, love showcased.
Yeah, and the melody is it's so good. It reminds you of a Sanremo classic. Like, it moves you in the direction of, this is timeless, and it's not going to be replicated very easily at all, because that song is 100% difficult to sing the entire time. And so that's how you know that this. I hope Evita, like girl Evita, that the song is about. I hope you're happy, because this is about you. That song is about you. That fantastic, amazing Festival Ikongas winning song is dedicated to you, and you have such a talented mother, by the way.
Yeah,
It's really
and
cute.
just to touch
I find that
on,
really
Albina's
cute.
and the family song are Albina and Familja Kelmendi.
Kelmendi.
Um,
Kelmendi.
it is chaotic, but in the best way possible. It is powerhouse vocal after powerhouse vocal. It's like, okay, so what is in like your family's drinking water? Because everyone's coming through with a vocal, like just killer vocals on everyone. Um, I don't care that it's chaotic. It's like when it comes to FiK and Sanremo, the staging doesn't matter. It's just like people wandering around a stage and like they'll figure out what happens when it happens. Yeah, no, it was so good, and like just such a strong song. And I don't worry about I'm sorry, I don't worry about Albania qualifying, frankly. Like, oh, they got this one.
Yeah, they strike me as having like the Trend kind of carry with them, where it's like all of these people, they're gonna make you party. It's like you don't know who they are, but here they are, and they're going to take you in and make you experience just the best thing ever. And yeah, I'm glad that we have that from Albania this year. It's very different. Once again, it's just so striking to me that we have an entire family on stage, and it meets like the number criteria for the like amount of people allowed on stage. So things were just meant to line up this way.
Exactly. We've got a comment from Peter Huduch. So hello, Peter. My winner won in Festivali Ikingas. Now, a lot of people are questioning if it needs an Albanian revamp because for them, it's a little bit messy. I don't think there's... The only thing I would say with a revamp is change around the production. Get in the studio, re-record it. I wouldn't say a lot of stuff needs to be updated or switched around at all. It's just mostly going to be getting that backing track and the vocal to be perfect together, and kind of polishing it up more. I mean, I haven't heard what it would sound like studio cut wise yet, because we've only heard the lives, and they have the live orchestra, and live orchestra versus backing tape is going to sound different. But like that would be the biggest thing to me. And like the state, it's not staged right now. As far as I'm concerned, the only thing they would have to do is get people with blocking. And once you get the blocking down, I think it's a fine package.
Yep. Well, Peter, you should also be aware that with an Albanian revamp, like it could go as far as Fall from the Sky, or it could be as gentle as just like a minor translation of some words. It's really hard to tell with Albania, but I mean, either way, this would be a really hard song to ruin, I think. Generally, like it would be really, really hard to make this unpleasant vocally, acoustically. Yeah, Gusto?
I really want to see. I really want to see the studio cut of this song because I've only heard it live, and I haven't found the studio cut. So we can have a better understanding on what we could expect from a revamp release to studio cut, or what we should think a revamp should look like once we get the proper studio cut from this current version, which at least I haven't found out. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's a strong entry. I'm not worried. I'm not worried there. So let's go ahead and let's talk. Was there anything else? Anyone like any other acts or anything you wanted to mention?
I liked a lot of the acts. I mean, Festival Ikongas once. I mean, I always like Festival Ikongas, but it's different when you find like a new act, a new singer from there, and then you see them come back again with something else you like. That's just something I really love about FiK. You see a lot of familiar faces, you see a lot of talent, and yeah, that's what That's the most thing I want to highlight. Like everybody there just gave a different piece to that nice experience.
I think FiK is probably one of your favorites. Am I right? Just
Oh,
because I know
yeah.
you love a ballad. You love a
Oh,
ballad.
and it was ballad after ballad after ballad, and you know what? I was eaten.
I
Exactly.
know.
Ballad.
I,
Like, I don't care. I don't care how slow it is. It's never slow enough for me. Thank you, Festivali Kungas, for
yeah,
always
no.
being the ballad contest.
It was great. Like it was such a good show. It's
Mhm.
like I'm not a big ballad person unless it's Festival King. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Give me
Mhm.
the ballads.
Yeah.
Just because I think Albania is so good at it. Is so good at a ballad.
Oh, yeah, always.
Gus, do you have any other adult thoughts?
No.
No?
You can go ahead.
Okay, well, that was our thought. Oh, that was Festival
No.
King,
And
guess.
Albania.
Gosh, they just selected such a great option there.
Mhm.
So let's go ahead and move over to Sanremo Giovani.
Mhm.
We had the contest last Friday after our stream, and we've gotten our 6 people who will be moving on to Sanremo itself proper. They
Mhm.
are Colazio, Jean Maria, Will, Ollie, Cherie, and then Sethu. So,
Yep.
do you have any thoughts about these acts? Is there anyone that stood out to you in particular?
Um, that's kind of hard. For generally all of them, I do want to say that this sounded very professional, despite the fact that it's Sanremo Giovani. The production sounded so clean. The lyrics sounded like they were executed very well. I mean, it was really hard for me to follow all of it because I don't speak Italian that well. But the lyrics, they sounded crisp. The vocals sounded right. They sound like they know how to manipulate a studio, and the melodies were great. Like, I mean, even the ones that didn't qualify, I found a number of them that I really, really liked. And it's like that's how you can tell that this is like the pre-contest to Sanremo. It's because they are recruiting the best of the youngest talent, which they always have enough to choose from. And Gian Maria, that song La Città che odi, oh my goodness. There is no way he's as young as he is writing a song like that. That's just so good. I'm so happy that we're going to be hearing it again. Giovanni, I didn't see it live. I'm really sad I didn't see it live, but yeah, I really like the music that came out of it.
It was a show. I
That
know
was great.
Julia.
Yeah.
Comment from Julia Shichiro. I'm happy that Cherie qualified.
Mhm.
That was the first thing I thought about when I was like, "Oh, Cherie qualified." You know what? Julia's gonna be happy about that one, and I'm happy about it too. She was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not normally a ballad person, but that was a ballad that I felt I was really struck by.
Mhm.
Um, out of all the she's the only ballad that qualified. No, she's not. There was like a piano ballad that qualified too. Uh, she was the stronger of the ballads that qualified.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think this is such a great slice of like Italian pop music.
Mhm.
Um, and like everyone was fresh. You mentioned Gian Maria, fantastic. I found myself really liking Ollie's song, La Anima Balla. It's not my
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
huh,
It's
that
like
one
a
was
mix of like indie rock with like a little electronic, a little bit of like it just felt like a fresh take on the genre that I haven't heard in any language.
mhm.
So I did find myself drawn to that one as well.
Like, let's see, who else stood out to me? I mean, they all did to their independent degrees, but Setu, I also really enjoyed the hook
Yeah.
on that song. I thought was just so crazy. I loved it. Yeah, I wasn't disappointed with really a single one. That's probably controversial to say, but I really don't feel that way about any of these acts. They all have potential.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
But Shari,
Um,
yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Shari
yeah.
for you,
And
Julia.
then Julia with another banger of a comment. Though I wish Nora could have qualified too. She was my second favorite. I
Yeah,
loved Nora.
I thought she was gonna make it.
Same.
I
She
thought
was
she was
like
gonna make
just she was, there's something about her that was just so sweet that
it.
I really enjoyed about her.
Another
Yeah.
strong ballad too.
Do you guys want to say do you have any other thoughts about Sanremo Giovanni?
Niente di più.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it says no. That means no.
Not from my end.
So
I
yeah.
couldn't. Last Friday I was out of town, so I couldn't watch it. So
Mm.
but I'll look up the songs that qualify because those 6 are in Sanremo already, I believe.
Listen to them; they're so good.
Well, the acts are in Sanremo. They have different songs
Yes.
for Sanremo. Yeah.
Oh, they have different songs. Oh,
Yeah, they're gonna have different songs.
okay.
I looked it up.
I will look. Then I will look for those so I can have an idea on how each of these acts look like, or at least sound like. So I'll be hyped for right after Benidorm. We get Sanremo, so it's gonna be a very packed
Period.
first half of February. Yes.
Oh, you're getting some love.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yeah. I sent it to a few of my Dominican Eurovision friends, so they're coming over, which is great. Hi guys.
Hey. So I wanted to actually swing back over to Festival Ikingas because there's one thing I forgot to mention. I just wanted to bring up that we have a live performance from Gala Dragot, who's
We
going to
did?
be competing at oh my gosh, Eurosong, the Belgian national selection. I just thought it was nice to see her there.
Oh my goodness, that poor girl. She was so sick when she walked on stage, and she didn't know a ton of what was going on, but you know what? She sang those three sections of those three songs so well. And then her dad
Yeah.
came on and it was so sweet. I
Yeah.
loved the whole moment of it, but it was quite like strange because no one was expecting Kalajorgo to be
I
the
wasn't.
daughter of a big producer in Albania.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like just a matter of I like that they have brought an act who's Albanian,
Mhm.
like ethnically, who's going to be competing later on in the season.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because, like Julia said right here, Julia, that was so random. Why was she there? She's Albanian. Like think about it, because like why did they bring Eleni Ferreira the year after Fuego?
Mhm.
She's also Albanian.
With the mini
Have they brought
She's
concert.
Jean?
Albanian.
Yeah, Jean's Tears. I think Irma Meta's popped up once or twice at
I
Festival
believe so too.
Ikingas.
Yeah.
That was a good year for Albanians. What year was that? 2018.
18, yeah.
Yeah,
That's when we got
2018 was a
balls.
good year for Albanians at
Yeah.
Eurovision. So yeah,
Yes.
like I just that
There
was my best guess.
Ermal, the Albanian act, Eleni, that's three. Who else? Those three had Albanian acts.
I swear
Italy,
there were more than that.
Albania, and Cyprus.
You
I
know,
feel like there were
like,
more. I feel like there were
I mean,
more.
hey, all three of them did excellent that year. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. Like,
Truly, yeah.
Yes.
yeah, let's go
Best of
ahead.
luck, Gala.
Yeah, I'm already rooting for her because I've listened to those snippets.
Mhm.
Let's go ahead and let's go over to, oh my gosh, Lithuania. Yes.
Lithuania.
So we're going
Yes.
to talk about. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I'm lost. We're going to talk about Selecţia Naţională. I'm like totally at a loss here. So we have acts who are going to be performing and hoping to go represent Romania at Eurovision. Do you want to go ahead and read off their names, Jordan?
Yeah, so you guys, these are going to be the acts trying to represent Romania this coming national selection season, and they are Adriana Moraru, who will be singing Paralayas. Mind you, I this is the first time I'm actually going through this list on my own. Aledaida, who will be singing Blah Blah Blah. Amia, who will be singing Puppet. Andrada Popa, who will be singing No Time for Me. Andrea the Folklore Orchestra singing Berenicia Mea. Deona singing Call on Me. Erin Dunyet singing Bad and Cool. Marilis singing Ivindo. Ocean Drive singing Take You Home. No artist singing Statues, and I actually found out something really interesting about that song. Stephen Rojo, Gabriela, and Formatia Albatross singing Lele. Theodore Andre singing DGT, also known as Off and On.
What was the interesting thing you found out about that song? I'm curious.
So with the song Statues, that doesn't have an artist yet. Mind you, there's no artist to sing this song yet. I know
it has been announced.
It has been announced?
We have an art now, Jordan. We do.
Okay.
Oh
yes.
My goodness. Because
yes.
when I just jumped before the stream. Who is it?
Yes. The name of the artist is he will sing.
I'm sorry, you cut off. What was
all over your
What was the name? Okay.
Andre Dutu.
Andrei
Okay.
Dutu, okay, who will be singing Statues. The interesting thing about Statues is that Mørland from
Yes.
Norway is actually a writer behind the song. We found
Okay.
that out because someone through Instagram asked him directly if he was a writer on the song, and so now we know we have Mørland in Romania as a songwriter.
He's
It's
also in
very
Estonia,
different.
isn't he?
Mørland, no, like he comes back to MGP every so often.
No, I mean I think he's a songwriter in the Estonian national selection this year.
Really? For what song?
Or is it or is he in No, he's at what's it called? Oh my god.
Mørland, if you catch
Melody
this scene at any point-
Festivalen.
correct.
He's a songwriter at Melody Festivalen. I'm like,
Hmm.
I'm getting the Estonia. Estee Lauder might as well be a Nordic national final. We've had this discussion in the past.
We can flesh out this discussion actually quite a bit.
Oh yeah. I'm glad they kind of trimmed it down to a shorter national final. We just need one show and we're done.
Less TV hours too. Less stress for the broadcaster. Think about that, you guys.
Because what that selection's on, is that happening on the 11th of February?
11th of February. Hold
I
that
think-
thought.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't find it in front of me, but I'll be waiting for that update.
I'm just going to bring up this comment from earlier from Peter. Decided not to make any plans on 11th of February because this date is already called the Super Saturday, 6 finals, Lithuanian semi, and Melfest Heat. And for all we know, okay, yes, we got a confirmation from Peter. Yes, it is on Super Saturday. Cool.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Oh my god, I'm not having any plans that day either.
Can you even have any plans on that day? Is it even possible?
I don't think it's possible at all.
Woof.
At
That's
all.
gonna be such an intense day. I mean, like, it's not very often we get like literally 6 songs in a single day. I feel like this happens maybe every 3 to 4 years. Intense. It's quite intense.
Here's a nightmare for you. Latvia could still choose that date for their final.
They can still choose it.
We don't know when Latvia's national final is. We just know it's happening. And it
Latvia
would not
girl.
shock me if the Latvians put their final on the 11th of February.
Watch them do that just to stir the pot.
I love Latvia. They're chaotic.
And troll the
It's to me,
fandom.
right?
Yeah.
I'll have the Riga Beaver be the host. I wouldn't.
Where's
I'm
Riga
not
Beaver?
watching any other national final at that point. I'm just watching the Riga Beaver.
Where's Riga Beaver? I need Riga Beaver.
I love the Riga Beaver, especially when the Riga Beaver is twerking and making snowflakes.
Mhm.
It's a winning combination. Peter, 100%. These countries made a very special agreement. They well and truly did. All right, so
Interesting. I wonder what it looks like on paper.
the paper is let's make the Eurovision fandom lose their minds for
A different
For a
reason.
day.
I mean,
Let's
I
make
mean
them
they
all go
do that.
crazy, try to watch
They do that
everything.
all year long, but I mean for a different reason this time. So good job for being inventive.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and let's hit on Lithuania up here. So yes, I'm gonna scroll down so I can actually see things. Yes. Where did I put my notes?
Pabandom
Lose them?
Naujo has a lot of returning acts.
So many returning acts. I accidentally deleted the
Oh.
list of acts. Hold on.
While we talk about that, you guys, I can, or like while we look for that, I can talk to you about who is coming back and what they did in the past. So, we do have a pretty long list of returnees, actually, and a lot of people who have come back, like for their 5th and beyond years, because they intend to either be in Eurovision, put on a great show, or just whatever it may be. A lot of veterans are back, and that does especially include ones that we've seen in the last 5 or so years. Do we have the list?
1 second here.
All right.
I'm getting it. I don't know why I can't believe I deleted it.
Well, just so you guys know who is coming back, who's already competed. Aiste Pilvelita. Oh my goodness, Lithuanian is so hard. Aiste Pilvelita will be returning for her 13th attempt to represent Lithuania at Eurovision. So Lily made a note here. She came third in 2007, second in 2008, 2010, and 2017. Earlier this year, she stated a desire to go to Eurovision one day, no matter how old she is. And when she finally when she does finally go, it doesn't matter if she's 50, 60, or 93. She does intend to go to Eurovision, which is an attitude I love to see. I still It'll happen. It'll happen one day. Just keep hanging on, girl. Monica Linkita, if you guys remember her, she represented Lithuania in 2015 with the song This Time, along with Vidas Bausmila. This time. And then, like, the double same sex kiss.
Oh no, I was about to start singing too. You stop it.
Anyways, she's back. Solo act this time. Oh, she represented Lithuania solo at Junior Eurovision 2007. Attempted to come back between 2010 and 2014 as a solo act. Victoria Faith competed in 2022 with Walk Through Water, which we just saw her basically. Gabrielis Vagelis, a sixth time competed in 2013, 17, 18, 20, and 21. I do like a number of his entries and his music outside of the pin collection. Gabrassi's coming back. This is his fourth attempt in a row, actually. He's first competed in 2019. Actually, it's not in a row because he didn't compete in 2020, but this will be his fourth year. 2019, 21, 22, and 23 will be his fourth. Justa Kraliulete, this is her second attempt, competed in 2022. Multics, this will be their third attempt, having competed in 2012 and 2013. Petunia, who I actually do remember, third attempt.
Yeah, she's so artistic. Like,
I know. I hope she's given the ticket this year just because I love the concept that she brought for 2020, I believe it was. And Valdemars Peterson's coming back, fifth attempt, competed 2018 through 2022. Y'all would remember Valdemars. He is unmistakable.
Okay. Yeah, that was Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry Dante cosplay last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting.
One of the most iconic thumbnails I've ever made.
Oh my gosh, that was just like, all right, why are we cosplaying now? So I did go ahead and get the list up.
All right, so who else is going to be performing? We have the list. So the other acts that we will be seeing.
Agne. You mentioned Asta Pivlete already. Alan Chico. And then there is Antique Varina. Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I swear, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude. It's
hard. Lithuanian.
It's hard. Lithuanian is hard. Antic Varanini Hush Pirovskio Dantes. Okay. Then there's Baiba, Beatrice, Donata. You already mentioned Gabrielis Valesius and Gabrisi, Il Senso, IT, Joseph June, Justa Rupazute, Justa Karyelaite, Justin 3 featuring DJ Augustin Yu. And then there was Lena Shalate, but her song, she got disqualified because her song had been released originally in 2020, and she was replaced with the Pixels instead, and they're like a band. Then we have Lukne, Mario Junes, Matt Len, Malona, Monica Lenkaite, Moonbee, and there's two Moonbees. This is not the Danish Moonbee. This is a different act. There's two acts called Moonbee.
Wow.
So I had, and yes, this is the Lithuanian Moonbee. Multics, Noi, Paulina Pakskaite, Petunia, who you mentioned, we love Petunia.
Mm-hmm.
Rudamer, who I have heard her song. Go listen to her song; it's really good. Then Victoria Faith, Voldemars, like we mentioned, and then W.I. As well. So I've already mentioned I heard Rudimer's song. Oh, so
Don't
good.
don't
So
don't
good.
say anything about it until I listen.
Just go listen to it. I don't know if you'll like it, but like if you like altos with really androgynous voices, electronic vibes, like okay, here's the thing. I'll tell you what she opened for Luca Lee, if you know who Luca Lee is.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's that
really?
kind of like ilk of music. She
Dang.
was Luca Lee's opening act at one point.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, that was my reaction. I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna love her. So yeah. The other one I wanted to say, I am looking forward to Gabrielis.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
that song was it 2020 or 2019 with the she got
Like
so
that was probably one of my favorite Pin songs.
that's the one I wanted to win that year.
Me too.
That
Yeah.
was my winner.
So good. He's such a good singer too.
Yeah.
It's just I need him to not wear like chunky white sneakers like when he's gonna be singing on stage.
Chunky white sneakers work. Chunky white sneakers work. Like I love a chunky white sneaker.
Not for every song. If it's gonna be like a K-pop number, sure, but
I mean, you can do a chunky white sneaker in like a suit for like.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't. What's his name? Sergio from FiK last night would disagree with that statement.
Well, I disagree with Sergio on a number of points. So
I mean, he had a great song, so we're gonna have to disagree there too. I really liked his song last night.
I personally didn't like his song. Good for you, Sergio.
Well, you're also not currently living through a blizzard, so like.
That's true.
You don't need the
Sergio
warmth.
and I kind of have like a similar hair thing going on right now.
Sorry. Yeah, were there any acts that stood out to you guys?
Any acts that stood out to me? You mentioned Gabrielius. He stands out to me. Petunia, she stands out to me. I don't really want to say a ton before we get more information from Lithuania because I personally need to go into these artists kind of like discographies to kind of find out, especially the new ones, who we're going to be the kind of thing to roughly expect. So I don't have a ton to say at this moment.
How about you, Augusto?
I'll wait for the songs to come out to have an opinion, but I remember Monica Nikite from 2015. The song was adorable. That was really cute. They gave us same-sex kiss moment. That was really cute too. And now I'm reminded that she was Monica Liu from 2007's Junior Eurovision. I didn't think it was her. I thought it was another girl. It was another Monica, but it was her. It's like, oh, it was her.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that they're going to give us another quality selection this year. Like,
yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Kind of. But they stepped up the game and have been delivering, especially since Root. They ate up, period. So.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how attached I got to Monica Liu last year. And just like Sentimenta, I was like, yes.
That was in like my top 5 streamed songs on Spotify. I was like,
yeah, me too. Because it was I listened to that song. I still listen to that song constantly. It was just, oh my gosh, so good.
It was good.
And
it was good.
Yeah, like just fantastic.
Really good.
Andy Niosh says the Roop and Monica are very tough acts to follow. Expectations are not high. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that sentiment that that those are 2 great acts in a row, and the group gave us 2 amazing songs in a row. So I see where you're coming from with that, and I know how Lithuania has been previously. But no, because it's like one of those things where I agree, but at the same time, I just know that I absolutely like if Gabrizi, I'm sorry, not Gabrizi, if Gabrielis Vegelis had won the last time he competed, he would have been my winner that year. And with like Rita Mur's song, I have very specific tastes that are kind of chaotic. If she wins the selection, I don't think she will necessarily, but if she were to win, she'd probably be really high up there for me too, because it's the song like the best that I've heard out of any national final so far this year. I'm not trying to hype her up or anything, because I know it's like just my very specific taste, but like I really like that one. And I feel like Lithuania has been having options lately. Like even last year, they had options where usually you sit down and you watch their national final, and you're like, okay, you guys have like two choices. If you don't make one of these two choices, it's over for you.
Mm-hmm. They are definitely moving
Yes.
away from that.
Yes.
Is there anything else we need to
Totally.
say about Lithuania before we head into the the
Mm,
the festival, the other festival,
um,
La
I'm
Más
just gonna
Grande?
I'm just gonna finish off with this comment, which is Lithuania from Peter Jotic. I want Lithuania. I want them to win just to complete the Baltics.
Me
Yeah,
too. Me too. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I would love to
Me
have them
too.
win one day.
I mean, it
We
can
never know.
happen very
And
easily within the next
also,
couple of years.
and to the point, they proved in 2022 when they hosted several delegations for the backup
Mm-hmm.
tape, the stage that
Mm.
they set up, they
Yeah,
they will deliver a show. Great stage.
and
They have the arena, they have the space, the production. They will deliver when they win. So when they come in with the right banger, give it to them. That's it. Just
they've
to
been hungry
vary
for it.
things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Lithuania has been hungry for it for so long. Like they always try. It's
Yes.
just that it's Lithuania. So you never know what you're gonna get. I just want to make a
Yes.
quick comment from Yulia Shichiro. To be fair, I've only been following Eurovision for the past 2 years. Look up Lithuania's song from 2006. It was the
No
highest
worries.
placement ever. And so like it's just one of those things that they love that they use that song on their national final constantly. Um and it's a classic.
And
It's a
they
Eurovision
just
classic
trolled
at this point.
Europe with that song.
They trolled Europe with
It's
that
the
song,
perfect troll song.
and it got them their best result ever. That's the most important thing about it.
That song was written in under a minute.
The biggest irony is that song.
Ah,
How iconic would it have been though if they won with that song?
don't say that.
No, no,
Oh,
no.
iconic. That would be
I hate the oddies, but I would at least have a soft spot for that. And it
Ah,
wouldn't even been the worst winner of that decade. Demo was still right there 2
2000,
years later.
that is true. That is true.
And oh
the
no, now I'm
worst
thinking about
winner
Plushenko
of the
flipping his hair,
odds
and I'm
is
not gonna
not
start laughing.
2006.
Oh wait,
It's not
2006 was
06.
Lordy.
That was
That whole year was
iconic.
chaotic.
I loved 06. 06 was a great year. I mean, it was a mess because what the heck, great delegation, but
Iceland
I
though.
mean,
I
this
Iceland, oh my goodness. Still, I can still recite that whole song by heart.
same. I could do it in English
I
and
can
Icelandic.
still sing.
Hey, you, look at, oh my goodness. 2006. Julia, that's our main point. Watch 2006.
And you're right, yes, Julia, it is that song. We are the winners. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over to Benidorm Fest. Before I end up like laughing too hard, remembering how iconic 2006 was. Oh my gosh, well Augusta dropped for a second there. We'll give him a moment to
Oh, that's
link back
okay.
up.
That's okay. Benidorm is it's a lot to talk about anyways,
It
and
is.
we're just going to be covering as much as we can.
Yeah,
As
definitely.
much.
Definitely. So, 1 second
Dang,
here.
I don't want to Augusto come back because your
He's
Spanish
here.
pronunciation is better than mine.
Yeah, Augusto, you have to read the names of the artists and the song
Read
titles
the
because
names.
that's what we brought you on here.
Uh,
Just so you know.
single purpose. One purpose.
Have one job,
Okay,
Augusto.
so let's go with the Spanish. So here we go. First of all is Agoné with Quiero Arder. Then we have Alfred Garcia with Desde que tú estás. Next up we have Alice Wonder with Yo Quisiera. Next is Aritz with Flamenco. Then the returnee from 2021, Blanca Paloma, Queen, Iconic, we stand. Yeah. Then we have a girl group. It's FM with Oof. We have another comeback to the Spanish Eurovision selections. La Lola by Famous. Then we have Mi Familia by Fusanocta, really good. Jose Otero with Inviernos en Marte. Next, we have Carmento with Quiero y Duelo, followed up by rock band with Arcadia. Then we have a poppy group, Meller, with No Nos Moverán. Then we have hyperpop through Raki Reaper, and the song is called Tracción. Then we have a drag queen, Sharon. If you watch Drag Race and you watch Drag Race España, you know who she is. The song is Aire. Then we have, I can be corrected by the Spanish fandom on this, but to my knowledge, this is the first time that TVE themselves allow a song 100% in Catalonian to be at the national finals. It comes from Catalan band Ciderland with the song Que Esclati Tot. Please forgive if I butchered it. Sorry, I tried. Then we have Sofia Martin with Tuki. Next is Twin Melody with Sayonara. And last but not least, Vico with Noche Entera. That's it.
Thank you.
Those are the 18.
Thank you. That was
Yes.
better
Oh,
than
it's so much
either of
better.
us.
You're
Your
welcome.
Spanish is so much better than my Lithuanian. So much better than my Lithuanian. So I think the way we're gonna do this is kind of like each one of us will give like one song we want to talk about, and then we'll do a couple. We'll do that a couple of times over. So does anyone want to go first for picking one of the songs they want to point out?
I can give people a little bit of idea on returnees. So we have a act, Fred with Amaya. And then we have at least 2 people that have tried before for Eurovision, and those are our little OT returnees, Agoné and Famous. Agoné was with Alfred in 2018, and Famous did it in 2019 when we had Miki. So speaking of songs, I have 3 that I want to highlight.
Okay, do you want to highlight one of those
Alfred,
first?
Fusa Nocta. I'll go with Alfred.
Alfred first?
I'm
Okay.
surprised. Yes, I'm surprised that he's back. I thought he was going to wait a little longer to return because it's been 5 years from when he competed in Lisbon. But what I can tell is that Desde que tú estás gives us an idea on how much musically he has matured. You see maturity, you see raw, you see feeling. The kid will deliver this and there's already on Twitter a snippet Barcelona this week. This could be the perfect jury. The televote, it's unpredictable. I don't know, but the jury can eat this up. Now, it only needs Sweden to make it work, but Alfred will surprise a lot of people, myself included, because this could be in the finals of Benidorm. Not necessarily winning, but can end up higher than what people are thinking. So get ready.
No, that's one of the ones I wanted to highlight too. That's actually the first artist I had listed to talk about today as well, because it shocked me. I cannot stand Tu Canción. I cannot stand that song. I hear it, I start getting hives. I love this. Like Desde que su está. It's gorgeous. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I was listening to all the songs straight through. I do not have a first reactions video on my actual channel because I wasn't recording audio, so I wasted 4 hours. But I love this. Like when I first listened to this, I'm like, this is good. It's just I'm absolutely floored by this. I have nothing really positive things to say about the song. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about
I'm proud of him. I will defend Tu Canción. I am so sorry we did not waste 15 weeks standing the couple and having the super couple of Amaya and Alfred being sold to us for 15 weeks. That Eurovision ticket with that song was theirs. it's a good explanation that TVE and the producers of the show market them horribly and stage them unfairly. That's another thing. But Amaya and her friend are, I'm gonna protect them. Those are my babies. Those are my kids. Okay? But I get it. I get why people hate the song. I do not blame you. But I have a, it's like the theory when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
I understand other people like it. It's just one of those. It's not for me. Jordan, you have any thoughts?
I don't like the song, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Wow, Jordan, way to have bad taste. Anyways, what do you like then, Jordan? Give us one of your songs.
So Augusto did mention Fusa Nocta, and I just want to really quickly say, like, this is something that you could hear on like Motomami Deluxe. Like, this is what modern Spanish language music sounds like now. Like, this could only have come out in the year that it did, with just how fresh it is and with how fresh Fusa Nocta sounds. If one thing, we don't really look at Spain for originality. They can do a lot of things very, very well. They can do a lot of what they've done in the past very well. They aren't a very original country nowadays, but I don't get that same kind of hit with Fusa Nocta. And I could say the same about like a couple of these other acts in Benidorm as well. But Fusa Nocta, I want to say this is the freshest, hottest, most impactful song for specifically the year 2023. Like, it is just so insanely lightning hot.
I also have Fusa Nocta highlighted for the same reasons. It is really good. Like, it's not what I would expect to hear from Spain at all. To be fair, I feel like Spain usually sends songs that are very
Swedish.
No,
it's
not even Swedish.
To that point.
But like,
to that point of both of you,
yeah,
the right staging, the right vocal, and the right packaging, Spain will win with that song. Period. They're winning Eurovision with that song.
It's so good.
It screams winner. Screams it. We'll get the juries. We'll get the televote. The girlies, the teenage girlies, they're gonna be like, oh my God, Motomami, oh my God, La Rossi.
It literally sounds like
She can win.
But I say that from a perspective of like originality. Like, you can't find this sound without being so knowledgeable about what's hot in the Spanish speaking world right now. And Fusa Nocta has that sound, just point blank, period. There are a couple of heavy hitters in Benidorm who I would expect, like, you have the right voice, you can send something modern, but they're trying to send like a Eurovision winner, for example. And that is just, it's a little off-putting. I like authenticity, and Fusa Nocta brings that.
It doesn't feel calculated. It feels natural.
Yes.
It's so good.
And like, it feels genuine. And like, you can have a genuine song that's upbeat, because I feel like some people here, when you say genuine, they think, oh, you just mean a song that's like a ballad that doesn't have really production on it. Like, no, that's not what I mean when I say genuine. I mean, it feels like it comes organically from the artist. And I feel like that's what I'm getting here with this. It sounds fresh. It doesn't sound like anything we've had at Eurovision before. I love it. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, it is. What did you want to highlight? Lili,
for me?
Yeah, what did you want to highlight that we didn't mention?
Another one I wanted to bring up was, I have a femme actually listed. I really liked it. I know. I love a girl group. And I love that, like, that line. And then I go, oof. Yes. I hear that, I get excited. I like that everyone gets a chance to shine. And it's giving me like a little bit of Spanish language TLC, because you've got the singing, you've got the rap elements, and like, it's competently put together. I think it's really fun. And it makes me want to be like a kid again. I don't know why, but it's just like, it makes me feel nostalgic.
Now, if our viewers do not know, Beret, who represented Spain in 2016, she is behind them. She's the author.
Really?
She's the author.
Okay.
She's a songwriter. She
gave birth,
she's
like,
not the songwriter. She's songwriter and producer, but she's behind them. She's behind them per her social media. So we know the song is quality because there's quality behind it.
Yeah. No, I think, I'm happy to hear that. Very happy to hear that.
I wish that we could just like sit here and talk about so many more of these artists because I definitely don't feel like I was able to get like a lot off my chest
No,
with.
honestly, we can still keep talking. We can go over an hour.
We do it.
My
I
game
don't
plan was
mind.
for each
But
of us to
Yeah.
mention 3 to 5 artists. It just so happened that we lined up with a lot of ones. So, do you want to? Is there anyone?
Alice Wonder.
Yes.
Alice Wonder. I'm sorry. Like anyone else trying to do a ballad right now, like
You're out.
just understand that like we have this. Oh my good. Like yo
I love
quisiera.
it.
Okay. So
I love it.
Augusto, help me out here. What does yo quisiera translate into in English? Because I don't understand it.
It's either it's the past tense of the verb querer. So it would be I wanted.
I wanted.
I
Okay.
wanted. So yeah.
Sergio
Sorta.
is highlighting you here. Augusto making us proud.
Hi Sergio. Hi. Yeah, because that's WhatsApp chat. So I send them the link, like, hey, join and watch me. So there, some of them are in. Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh, Augusto's
I
fan
like
club.
the
I love it.
song. I like Alice. Alice the song. I think it's great. It's cute. She's not like on my top favorites, but it's good. It's quality. The whole all 18 of them, to various degrees, they're all delivering this quality. Like Spain is becoming a powerhouse. And who would have thought that 3 years ago? You know,
Yeah.
they're giving us quality. I'm proud of it.
No, I'm on Jordan's side when it comes to Alice Wonder. That was another like I said I like doing it this way. That way we all like can talk about people. I love that song. It was one of the songs. It was one of the few songs that when it was over, I was like, I want more of that.
Yeah.
Like when I was listening to him, like you can go on for another 2 hours. I'm not bored. I'm not distracted. I want more of this. And that was like kind of one of the issues I had when I was like listening to all the songs straight through. Is a lot of them I was finding myself my mind wandering. I ended up getting a migraine the first time I tried to listen to everything. And I was like, oh, I have to turn this off, or else like it's gonna be I'm not gonna like any of these songs. And then I came back and started listening to the songs again, and I started with this one, and I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is good. It was like because there's other songs that people really like that I'm just like, this doesn't need to be 3 minutes long. I'm done. But like with this one, this needs to be like 4 hours long. I absolutely love what Alice Wonder's brought us.
I agree. I agree with everything.
I've seen a lot of people praising Alice's voice.
I love the voice.
It's so deep.
It's like honey. It's like you just want to kind of like. It's thick and like, oh, it's so good.
Good. Yeah. And kind of going along that same note, I also do want to quickly mention Carmento. Just authenticity.
Again, so I don't have to bring anyone else up because we're going to talk about all 5 of mine today.
Do it. Por España.
I love it. I love Carmento. I love Carmento's song so much. Like they brought something really just like the guitar, everything about this. It feels Spanish. And like, but it doesn't feel Spanish as in I'm on a vacation and you're showing me like the tourist resort version of Spain. It still has like an authentic kind of feel to it.
Yeah. I felt diaspora called by that song.
Which a lot of
very rare for like Spain, but I felt diaspora called. I was like, oh, this is a moment. What were you saying, Augusto?
On that note, I think that that Carmento's has a very unique Spanish sound from like inside of Spain, like not beachy, sunny, touristy Spain, like Midland Spain, like right inside from the heart of the country. And I like it. It's not on my top 10 because I really like it. But I think I need to listen to it a few times to feel more convinced of the song. But I like it. It's really good. Her voice is very unique. The style is very unique. It gives you like rich ethnic vibes. So it's really good. But I would like to hear it live to see how it goes. but it's good.
It sounds like it's actually from Spain, because when I think of beachy Spain, I'm actually more thinking of like music from Latin America. And
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like it's from Spain rather than it's trying to be a song from one of the former Spanish colonies. You know what I mean?
That I agree. I'm from
Yeah.
a former Spanish colony. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the kind of Spanish music I'm used to because like I live in the US. I got like, like I'm used to hearing that kind of sound. So I'm appreciating what Carmento is bringing us for that
Yeah.
fact.
It's
Me
and
too.
all right. So I mentioned Carmento. Like, who else really was something that you guys felt like needed to be mentioned? Oh, Sergio, Carmento's entries coming from Organic Heaven. Organic Heaven. I'm stealing that. I'm saying that from now on. Thank you, Sergio.
Organic heaven, yes. Let's go to Whole Foods. Like move over Whole Foods. Carmento is now organic
Yes.
heaven. Is there anyone else you wanted to mention,
Yeah.
Augusta?
Agone. I want to give him a shout out. He's giving us the queer song, the power, the disco, the everything, honey. Like, ooh, it's rich, honey. It's party, honey. Let's turn up, honey. We party, honey. Um, his vocal delivery is really good. I'm scared if he. I'm confident he will pull it off live, but I'm scared that the little OT diva moment may come back because you never know. But Agare is giving us the banger. It's a banger. That song is good. It's not necessarily a party song, but it's a very like club song, and people on Twitter are already adding the audio to Maru in Vidbir 2019
Yeah.
with the choreo, and I'm like, Twitter, go to hell because honestly, that it's a really good combination. If he could give
Yeah.
us that type of vibe of slot pop, give it to me, give it to me, because it's going to be different. It's going
Yeah.
to be a risk, and we appreciate when big fat countries risk in big risk. Now, may fail, may succeed, but I think that Spain is in an era where people are paying attention to them, and it's well staged, and we have a crazy vocal moment. Ooh, it's gonna be good. He can be great. So we got.
Yeah.
I give him props for delivering for the girls, the girls, the gays, the datums, and everybody in the queer community. Thank you, honey. Woo.
I'm gonna just say that's the song I had to turn off because I had a migraine. Like I started like I have oral migraines. So like I know when one's coming on, and I was like, oh, I couldn't talk anymore, like my speech was slurring. I was like, I gotta turn this off. I feel like this song is trying too hard to be a lot of things.
Oh, I
And it
get
just
him.
comes off to me as like it's not for me, just because it just really comes off as like it's one of those things where like when it comes to Eurovision songs and the era in Eurovision that we're in, we're kind of in this like authentic, bring me something that feels like it's you era. And like with this one, I just don't feel like, I mean, it could very well be this agony, but like when I hear it, I'm just like, this is trying too hard to be everything. It's trying too hard to be like an anthem. Like yeah, like it's giving me gay anthem vibes. And I do love me a gay anthem. Like I listen to that playlist all year round. But like it just feels like it's trying too hard to be that for me personally.
Yeah, kind of going off of
I
Lily's
think that
point.
the one that is giving more anthem. Yeah.
Hmm?
Go, Jordan.
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah,
Go
just
ahead.
I'm kind of talking off of Lily's point, and also kind of what you were saying. I do believe he would give us like perfect vocals. I do believe that overall this would be like a bop. It would be quite a stage moment, but I do think it came off of a conveyor belt. Yeah, I'm gonna finish my thought first, but basically with this song, my issue with it wasn't that it was like acoustically bad, but if anyone has seen the Eurovision Song Contest movie made by Will Ferrell, the Russian quote unquote song "Lion of Love" was like formulaically the song to win Eurovision within that specific context, and it's because it had structurally these kinds of elements. I feel like this is a real life replication of Lion of Love because, like Lily was saying, there are too many things that are trying to have like the winning aspect of the contest of Eurovision, which very well could be the sound that Agone has with his other music. I'm not sure. I don't listen to it, but it's really I do want to see something authentic because, as she was saying, we are headed into a more authenticity based direction, and having a song like this, it might not necessarily like throw a broomstick in your wheelchair, but at the very least you're not going to be looking around being like, ah, yeah, this is not just a Eurovision song to me because it sounds a little too Eurovision-y, which is something that I generally think should be avoided for songs that want to compete. But if this is Agone's song, if it is his type of music, then yes, then it could absolutely work. But right now, it's just kind of in a little bit of an awkward place. That's just how I feel about
No,
that.
I see
I
what you
We'll
say with
see.
that.
We will definitely see.
Yeah. So another comment from Sergio, I
Yes.
highlighted here, which is, and Agony already said its base is 100% erotic, and that he has no shame in saying it out loud.
Hey,
I love that.
go for it.
I
Hell yeah.
love that. Like I'm not a prude. Okay. I like a song that's going for sex and giving me sex. Like
Yeah.
I'm into that whole thing. Like I like it when people are able to express their sexuality.
Mhm.
And that, I mean, when I say express their sexuality, I mean above and beyond just like if you're gay, straight, bi, pansexual, asexual, all that stuff. I mean like your sexuality in even what you're kind of into that might not be mainstream.
Mhm.
I love it when people are able to have that space to publicly state what they find to be erotic. I think that's great.
Yeah.
It's just like for me, this song just it doesn't. It's sonically for me. There's a lot happening that I'm not aligned with, but I like knowing that that's where it's coming from. It's coming from a place of like eroticism.
Yes, exactly. That is one of the best things about this song. Like, if Spain were able to bring that specific energy to the contest, that is because I feel like there's always like one entry in Eurovision where it's just like, ah, yeah, you're the sex song, and this could very well be that.
Iceland. It's
Exactly.
Icelandic song. Iceland does sexy good.
It's giving everything at once, and I love it. Hey, I mean, a lot of people
Me
love that kind
too.
of sound.
Mhm.
Maybe not myself personally,
Me
but
too.
it really does work. Like, it does make a nice performance at the end of the day. Like, when you put that on stage, you're going to be entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But
yeah, was there
I do know that there's one anthem song, and that's Sharon's. That is
okay.
the anthem song. There's
Mhm.
Schlager, very uplifting lyrics. Aire is the anthem song, and Avenes is the sex. I hope he can deliver. I hope the vocals don't go crazy, and I hope the choreo is set because if the packaging is right and the vocal does not go crazy, you won me over. I have my reservations. I like the studio cut, but live, don't go crazy. If you go crazy, there could be trouble. If you make it work, you want me. You won a lot of people over.
When it comes to the Benidorm Fest, when I was listening through to everything, it felt like there were like a lot of pairings of songs. Like these two songs
Yes.
can compete against each other for this marketplace. And a comment we have that came up is another song we didn't mention that a lot of people tend to like from Julia Chiero from a few minutes ago. I prefer Blanca Paloma over Carmento. I liked Blanca's song. I thought it was gorgeous. It to me, because both of those songs are kind of occupying that same traditional Spanish sound. For me, the way that the
Yes.
vocalization for AIA from Blanca is kind of giving me like Al Su, Spain. Like I hear it, I'm
Yes.
immediately thinking like the
Yeah.
sound of it is making me think of like a call to prayer kind of sort of a
Mm.
situation.
Yes.
And it's like I
Oh
like
yeah.
having that because that just that sounds like it sounds like Spain, but like Spain from like specifically the 14 prior to the late 1400s. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
like that kind of like that era of Asu. So yeah, that's kind of like what it made me think of. So I do see like for those two songs are kind of occupying the same space and going for the same space. Like I'd say a Femme and Twin Melody, they're kind of going for the same space. As well. Like they're competing in trees.
Yes.
Like looking here, La Lola by Famous and what was the other song that sounded
Flamenco.
They both sound like they're going for that same space of being like a World Cup anthem.
Really, really quickly about both of those songs, those are the ones that I feel like are just the most Swedish feeling out of the lineup, because I don't know, like there's something about those two songs that feels like they could be in Melfest or MGP.
It's the fact they remind me of two Samir and Victor songs.
Yeah, take with that however you will, but it just feels like this came from European Spain.
You know what?
And to me,
I'm a Bada Knockdown
to me, the one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and to me, the one that gives me the most that it was like imported is flamenco. It gives you I mean, how are you thinking about flamenco, but you do not sound like your
it's not
rhythm is, girl, make it make sense.
I know a flamenco.
It does not match. How it's flamenco, but it doesn't sound like flamenco. It sounds like a salsa or something different. Not
as I've had to clap out a flamenco rhythm because of something in band class. It's like, no, I'm not. Have you heard flamenco guitar? It is like peak guitar sounds. Like, honey, no.
Yes. It's very characteristic.
I hear it too. It's like, this sounds like salsa. Like, what are we doing here, honey? Like, what are we doing here, babe? Like,
even salsa is quite generous. Like, that is quite generous.
Yes.
It's like the pico de gala. What they call it? Pico de gala.
And I've seen some people on Twitter saying
it feels like an MGP heat.
Well, you know what the national dish of Norway is? Norwegians like the hype of their tacos. If there's any Norwegians, let me tell you, you guys need to stop hyping up your tacos.
Norwegian tacos? What does that even mean? Because I had Mexican food in Ireland and that was deplorable.
Norwegians, like, I think like one of the favorite like dishes in Norway is tacos, and I'm like,
based on whom?
Norwegians say this. Now, granted, the only Norwegian, actually no, because she's the Ecuadorian. Never mind. But then I don't know. Okay, so the person who got me into Eurovision, her sister-in-law is from Ecuador and they live in Norway. It's just, no.
But Ecuador, I don't associate with tacos either.
I don't associate with tacos either.
Half Ecuadorian.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Tacos? Ecuador?
No.
Yeah,
no, I'm just thinking like I was gonna
say.
Yeah, no, I just like my.
I'm gonna have to like do like a Google wormhole moment where I just look at Norwegian tacos for a while, because a lot of times people. We could talk about this like very much at length, like in different contexts, but sometimes food should not be attempted by like other crowds. It's just like when Asian countries try to make Italian food. Like I will always call us out for that. Like, don't even try. Yeah, they have National Taco Friday in Sweden and Norway. ¿Por qué?
We need to get off the taco train. This is just going to cause us all nightmares. I don't know. I don't mind Jollibee's spaghetti or Jollibee spaghetti. Like, if you're in the mood for it. You know who has shockingly good spaghetti? Japan 7-Eleven. But that's a whole other story.
7-Eleven doesn't make spaghetti out here. Y'all are learning about American culture, by the way. Like, all the things that feed us.
No, I said 7-Eleven in Japan makes spaghetti. Our 7-Elevens don't make spaghetti here either.
Yeah. There's no spaghetti out here.
Right now. They do? Oh, wow.
Yeah, like Japanese 7-Eleven is like a whole experience.
There's like a ton of YouTube channels who their dedicated content is just showcasing Japanese food gadgets. I recommend Dancing Bacons. They're great. But
If you ever at a 7-Eleven in Japan, get an
Or a
egg salad
Lawson.
sandwich and then get a pork katsu sandwich and put them together. I'm telling you, man, egg salad on like a pork chop is so good.
you may have just inspired my lunch today.
We need to get off the food tangent for real though. Anyways, anything else you want to bring up for Benidorm Fest?
Oh yeah, like anyone else who like we
Or like even in the comments, if there's any songs you want to, we haven't talked about Megara. I feel like that's maybe one.
Oh yeah, Megara is a heavy hitter. I definitely think Megara is going to be doing very, very well. I don't love the song yet. I do like it though, and I need to see how it is on stage.
Same. It's one like I didn't highlight it because
I agree with you too on Megara. I like it. I need a little more of conviction.
Megara, please.
I mean, it's good. I'm just not fully convinced, but it's good. Like the songs that I think are good. I want to see live to feel more convinced there. But there's at least one song that I'm just like, why are you here? One.
Well, I want to know what that is.
Song that I'm like, why are you here?
I want to know what song that is.
Twin Melody? You mean My Melody and Twin Star? And they're singing a song called Sayonara? And like, you guys already make me think of Sanrio characters. I think they're cute.
They're nice.
I
TikTok kind of content makers, aren't they?
Maybe. I think it's
not
cute.
on TikTok?
Yes, they have like 1 million followers or something.
That explains the sound of the music.
That
explains why this song sounds like it does.
I'm not the least bit attached to it personally. I'm like, this is cute. This is fine.
I mean, the girl.
It's present.
It's gonna get children to watch.
It's there. It's cute, and it's hopefully.
I feel like every national final is gonna have like a TikToker now.
It's cute. Yes, it seems to be the trend. Like TikTok is where the new popular music is blowing up from. Like a lot of people. Well, Arcade is the best example of it. Arcade blew up like nobody thought it was gonna blow up because of TikTok.
Yeah, but it was like a bad version of Arcade.
It's giving Duncan Lawrence a career.
Snap blew up on TikTok.
What has Duncan been working on lately?
My nerves, but that's a whole other story.
Oh yeah, huh?
The Dutch entry for 2023. That's what he's been working on.
2023.
That and my nerves, like
it's him and his fiancé. They're both behind him.
Yeah.
Duncan, I'm still waiting for you, my guy. I'm still waiting for that one song.
It's gonna be another cute.
I feel like you can write one.
His album has another couple good songs. I'm not remembering the names by heart right now, but I did listen to that album a few times, and it's to me that I can be a little basic. I liked it, but the Arcade Duo version that he released in 2021, I believe, that was not it. Like, why? Why?
Was it as bad as the Arcade version with Roxana Vengil and Vicky Gabor that we saw at Junior Eurovision?
That was cringe. That was cringe.
Outsung him.
Like, why?
They both outsung him on his own song. I mean, yeah.
That is. I've also listened to Duncan's album. No further comment.
Okay. Another one I wanted to touch on was Ricky Rapper.
Yes, it's cute.
Oh my god.
Ricky Ripper.
Hyperpop.
Ooh.
Hyperpop.
That
I saw this coming.
Yes. I mean, to me,
song.
honestly, that I've been following the Spanish trends for years, I'm like, TVE, girl, you really are trying to diversify. I think this is the first time we're getting hyperpop on any national final. And I'm like,
yes,
it's a
this
new
is
genre.
good.
It's really youth focused. Like
Yeah.
it's something like only really like teenagers listen to. I sound like an ancient old woman when I
Yes.
said that. Like, this is
I
what
mean,
the
I
teenagers
enjoy
like.
it probably because I'm the youngest one on the team. But that
Youthful
aside,
glow.
hyperpop is really fresh, and
It is.
it's giving us the Luna Key aspect that like we're kind of missing, because Luna Key's song "Voy a Morir" was my favorite song last year's Benidorm.
We were robbed.
So,
We were
so good.
robbed.
But it actually turns out that I found out that Rocket Ripper is going to be singing like without the modulation in the microphone, which Luna Key was trying to do.
Okay, here's my thing
Which
real
will
quick.
go
This is a side note. I feel like vocoders and things like that should be allowed at Eurovision. I
Me too.
really truly do, because
Me too.
like you can use those so artistically and make something very interesting.
Mhm.
It's like with the backing vocals that now you can have pre-recorded backing vocals. I'm fine with that because you can do things interesting and creative with that. The issue is a lot of people who maybe are using these tools are not using them in the most creative way possible. That being said, I feel like vocoders should be allowed at Eurovision as far as I'm concerned.
I don't mind vocoders either.
I have no issue with it. It's like using a looper. That should be allowed at Eurovision too. Like, I mean,
I agree. And we have two, but not as smoothly as it was like in the studio cut, because it's different. Like when Netta won in 2018, she had like a coder or a looper, but she only had like some specific sounds, not her voice.
Yeah.
Her voice was not modulated.
Yeah, it's like,
and also when it comes to the pre-recording vocals, without them, how would have Spain staged Chanel had no pre-recording vocals were allowed? All that dancing, all that choreo, how? I mean,
I've listened to the
best
instrumental
example
track.
of a
I mean, there weren't a lot of pre-recording vocals on that track. If you like go through and listen to it, there really weren't a lot of recorded vocals on Chanel's track. That's just, it's one of those things where also I just at this point it's live music. Like, pre-recorded vocals should be totally cool and allowed. And like Julia Shichiro says, definitely not having it is holding Eurovision back. It really is. Like, and vocoders have been around for so long.
Mhm.
Like, listen to some Parliament Funkadelic. Like, y'all, that was when my dad was a teenager. Like, they've been around for a long time, and they give you they give you a lot of creativity, and they allow for a diversity of genre. And it's like I feel like you can tell if someone's singing in tune or not with that turned on. Also, on live vocals, you can have auto tune running at the same time, and you can tell if someone's actually hitting the key or if auto tune's doing all the work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's just one of those things where I find that electronic processing to be really interesting and can make something really intriguing and elevate you to being more memorable. So yeah, I do think it's one of those things that's holding the contest back as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, did we
we
want
need
to just
to
wrap it
adapt
up
to
then?
our current times.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off, Augusto. So do you guys want to go ahead and wrap the stream up? Is there anything else that we want to shout out or mention from Benidorm Fest?
Let me just have a quick look here. I think that was everything I needed to cover on my end. I'm really excited to see everything on stage, especially because I feel like I was really critical this stream. I do want to mention that I don't give these criticisms like without the perspective knowledge of knowing that the stage version is going to be completely different than what I think from just hearing a studio cut. So like that's just my note on the criticisms that I made. But
I mean, Jordan, you and I issued multiple apologies last year because of Benidorm Fest.
Well, I mean, because we got it all wrong.
And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with being like, hey, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
I was wrong. And last year's Benidorm Fest, I was wrong.
We were apologizing to Chanel every week. Well, it's fine. She deserved it.
Honestly, even I have to apologize because I was very mad when she won, But then when I saw her performance on Festival de Cansao and I saw that work, I was like, you know what? I'm going to chill. This is it. This is really good. My respect. I'm a stan. I'm a hardcore Chanel stan. I do not care. Queen deserves everything. Her ethic hooked me, made me a believer. That staging in Turin, girl, you ate up. The pyro, the lighting, the fit, the dancers. She had a winner aura that it was spectacular. Spain
Easily,
has never
yeah.
had that type of luck before. It's like, girl, no, respects to you. And honestly, I know I went a little crazy on Twitter around late January 2021. Since February, I've been a believer, and the work ethic is there. Just I love that period. So yeah,
100%.
Exactly,
that's
exactly.
Yeah, even if we seem a little harsh, like, again, multiple multiple apologies were issued last year. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining our stream this week. We discussed lots of stuff. We went over by half an hour, but whatever.
That's okay. It's for Benidorm.
Algorithm likes long videos. Anyways, thank you so much again. Don't forget to check out EurovisionFam.com. There will be an article, I believe, a little later today, and also there's a video on our YouTube channel just with some like music that gives us some holiday vibes. Go ahead and check out that short. I'll have a link in the description box and up in the cards as well for that. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you all so much. Oh, also Eurovision Fam on all the social medias.
Yes.
Well, not all of them. We do Twitter and we do and we do TikTok along with YouTube.
yes.
So yeah, thank you guys
Those two
so
for now.
much for joining us. Augusto, thank you for being our lovely
It's
guest.
been
being
great. It's been
And-
great to join on my day off. So happy
Yeah.
holidays, everybody. And I hope to see
Happy
you all soon.
holidays.
Oh,
too.
see you next year, it looks like, maybe?
Maybe, we don't know. I'll see what happens. We might be back
We'll see.
next week. You'll know by Wednesday. But thank you guys so much for joining us, and bye.
Bye, guys. Love ya.
Let me get it further back from the camera. Oh, come on, end.